thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. In a fresh flashpoint, Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin has now called Sanskrit a dead language, charging at the centre for spending 2,400 crore rupees on Sanskrit while giving a stepmotherly treatment to Tamil, for example. For many, this isn't just a linguistic economy complaint, but yet another attack on India's cultural and spiritual heritage. After all, this isn't the first time DMK has quoted controversy over Hindi or Sanskrit or even the Hindu religion and its texts. Their pride in Tamil language has often been seen as antagonistic to Hindi and Hindus. DMK, born from the anti-caste Periyar movement, has historically challenged Sanskrit as a symbol of Brahminical dominance, but Udhayanidhi Stalin's latest comment raises a rather broader question. Why does a political leader, especially of his stature, feel empowered to deride one of the world's oldest languages in service for perhaps some political point scoring alone, and a language born out of India? Is this merely a rhetorical device to appeal to regional sentiment, or is it part of a carefully cultivated strategy that pits Tamil identity against what DMK often frames as hegemonic North Indian culture? But another fundamental question is this: Sanskrit is of this land. It is the language of our historical heritage and culture. Is deriding a native element of our ancient society a liberal fetish? And is this justified in the name of secular politics? We'll take that and more up with our guests in just a bit. So the big debate, the first one coming up on Plain Speak today, is this purely disdain for India's own, especially one that you politically oppose? Also on the show today, we speak to an expert about the rising student suicide alarm in the entire country on the back of 3 such cases coming to light. Later on the show, also stay tuned for a Plain Speak podcast peek with author Deep Haldar on everything that is going wrong in Bangladesh and more. Now, by the literal definition, a dead language usually refers to one that's no longer in active communication anymore. Does this epithet suit Sanskrit? In fact, Sanskrit is widely used in Hindu and Buddhist religions, rituals, hymns, chants, mantras across India and beyond. Its continued use in these integral cultural practices keeps it a living part of everyday life. While not a primary vernacular for many, thousands of people in India still report Sanskrit as their mother tongue, and this number actually has been steadily rising. There are also several villages, for example, Mattur and Hosatli in Karnataka or Jiri in Madhya Pradesh, where residents use Sanskrit for daily communication as a result of revival efforts. Sanskrit is an official language recognized by the Indian Constitution and is taught as a second language or optional subject in hundreds of universities and schools globally, with around 1 lakh teachers in India alone. Furthermore, even till date, new literature in Sanskrit continues to be produced and published, including a daily newspaper, Sudama, in Mysuru since 1970. According to the 2011 census, Sanskrit has witnessed the highest percentage increase in speakers since 2001. And according to the 2011 census, almost 76% rise in Sanskrit speakers, while Hindi and Gujarati witnessed 25 to 20% increase in speakers respectively. Bengali, Assamese, Marathi, Kannada, Punjabi and Oriya all have witnessed between 14 to 17% increase in speakers. In fact, Tamil has noted almost 14% increase in speakers over a decade. If you look at this figure, Urdu has actually seen a decline. Would that mean then that money should not be spent on Urdu language anymore if that is just the justification? More than 2,500 crore rupees have been allocated for funding Sanskrit between 2014 and 2015 till 2024 to 2025. And this seems to be the major pain point that the DMK has espoused. Funding for Sanskrit is channeled through 3 central Sanskrit universities and the Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan. Meanwhile, 113 crores have been allocated under the Grants for Promotion of Indian Languages scheme towards Tamil for the same period of time. But here is what the government says as far as this funding disparity is concerned. The government promotes Sanskrit through 3 central Sanskrit universities established by the Central Sanskrit Universities Act 2020. In contrast, Tamil is promoted through the Central Institute of Classical Tamil, which receives a smaller allocation. Some point to the existence of multiple universities for Sanskrit versus a single institution for Tamil as a reason that there could be a funding gap. The government has also stated in Parliament that funds are allocated based on requirement and utilization. It's not really on a language by language basis. The government also has emphasized its commitment to promoting all Indian languages through policies like the NEP 2020, which do promote multilingualism and particularly a focus on mother tongue in India. So this Sanskrit insult after a Sanatan Dharma insult by the same politician in Tamil Nadu, is this just pointing to a disdain, an inherent disdain garbed as liberalism, secularism for what is India's true heritage?
ஒதுக்குன நிதி எவ்வளவு தெரியுமா? தமிழ் வளர்ச்சிக்கு வெறும் 150 கோடி ரூபாய். ஆனா செத்த மொழி சமஸ்கிருதத்துக்கு ஒன்றிய அரசு கடந்த 10 ஆண்டுகள்ல ஒதுக்குன நிதி எவ்வளவு தெரியுமா? 2400 கோடி ரூபாய்.
We can salute and we can pray and we can laud our own language. But even the mother Tamil won't allow degrading the other languages.
I want to go across to our guest joining us, Kalyan Raman, spokesperson of the BJP with us, Pulla Rao, political analyst from Tamil Nadu, Sumansi Raman, political analyst from the state, and Rahul Ishwar, activist, is also joining us. Pulla Rao, I want to broad base this discussion. I don't really want to make this only about the fact that, this is Sanskrit versus Tamil. Both are Indian languages, both are our country's pride. But why is it okay to deride Sanskrit as a dead language and, even garb it as some sort of a liberal issue in India versus quote-unquote right-wing, because I'm guessing that is the positioning, or a secular issue in India? Isn't Sanskrit to be celebrated by all, even if it's spoken by lesser number of people today?
Let's first come to your point. It should be celebrated, but that's all the government is doing. The government has not done anything for its propagation. Hundreds and hundreds of crores are being spent. It would be well worthwhile to see what they are doing. What kind of universities are they running? Thousands of crores.
Yes.
And that itself shows the government has failed. When the government is spending so much money, there should be something. You have quoted one village here, one village there. Is this the progress they did in the last 10 years, 12 years to revive Sanskrit?
No, so I will tell you, no, 1 second. You're selectively quoting what I said. I also quoted numbers from census, where Sanskrit has reported over 75% increase in its speakers over the last two censuses.
Shivani, what's the base of 75%?
So that's exactly what I'm saying. If your argument is that the base is small, if your argument is that the base is small, so even 75%, 76% doesn't mean anything, that's a separate argument.
My argument is somebody spending so much money should have thrown something more for it. Number one. Number two, yes, Tamil is the oldest language in India, I believe. My friends may say Sanskrit is equally old or whatever, the classical language. But they've really not done anything about it. The Chinese use Chinese language for everything. So therefore, yes, the Prime Minister has said he loves Tamil. What has he done about it? That's what they question. On the third point, I'd say, I just saw the former governor of Tamil Nadu, Tamil side, talk about Sanatan and all that, how bad it is. The Supreme Court chided her, criticized her, and she had to run away from her governorship. So will I say that she is anti-constitution? She is what? She expressed her views, she failed there. And the Supreme Court, the correct word is Supreme Court passed strictures about her performance as governor of Tamil Nadu. So I am not here saying that she is anti-constitution or she should be treated as someone who spoiled the constitution. There is freedom of speech. I don't agree with anybody what they say.
Okay.
They go too far.
So there is a little bit of...
Let us enjoy it.
Okay. No, I take your point, but there is a little bit of conundrum in what you're saying, because You're saying what has government done? They should be judged on whether the funding that has gone to Sanskrit has actually helped Sanskrit or not. I can give you the numbers I have. If you feel that that is not enough increase, then that's a separate case altogether. But even in actual terms, I will get you the figure of what people are saying now. So in actual terms, and we can only count mother tongue, right? I'm only giving the reference of mother tongue, not as somebody who may know Sanskrit but doesn't recognize it as mother tongue, may speak it as a second or third language. But in 1971, there were about 2,200 odd people who spoke Sanskrit. In the 20, or identified it as the mother tongue, I beg your pardon. In 2011, that rose to over 24,000. So it's not as if efforts have not yielded some result to speak of. But this is a classification of Sanskrit as the mother tongue.
Small point.
Yes.
My friends are waiting. One small point. It's thousands. There's been thousands of crores. Now I can tell you, government can save all this money. You have got artificial intelligence. And all these hundreds of translators who are running around, you go dig a little deeper. There may be a scam there. They're being paid for translating. Go dig a little deeper.
Sorry?
I know what they're doing in this Sanskrit university. They can use a better, let them
But the
develop a
problem-
Hindi university.
Okay, one
let them
second.
spend it on a Hindi
is not the
university.
point.
I welcome it.
One second.
You know,
My
at the
only
center.
issue is,
So therefore-
that Udhayanidhi Stalin is not criticizing that the efforts of the government are not enough or not yielding enough results. What he is doing is actually deriding Sanskrit as a dead language. Kanyal Raman, you please come in here because BJP has raised objections to what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said.
See, the first and foremost fact is that the first family of Tamil Nadu is full of Sanskrit names starting from Karunanidhi, Udayanidhi, Inbanidhi, Dayanidhi, Kalanidhi and so on and so forth. So, these people are too ill-informed. The person, Udayanidhi, is a low IQ person who does not understand what is what about languages. He is not a language expert to begin with. And the main factor as to why such controversies are being promoted by Udhayanidhi is based on some suggestion by some strategist that when they fail in situations like SIR, on metro issue, on the governor issue, when they take a slap from the Supreme Court, this is what they try to do by diverting the attention of the common man by raising issues which are unwarranted for the society. If we really have to talk about it, he has to sit on a debate and talk to people who know the subject in place. Is Udhayanidhi aware that the Sanskrit is taught in 14 German universities? Is he aware it is there in 4 universities of England? Is he aware it is taught in over 20 universities in USA? Is he aware it is taught in 8 universities in Italy? How dare he says that it is a dead language? It is not that he wants to say that it is dead language. He just wants to divert the attention that they had a huge slap on their face in the governor issue by the Supreme Court when the Honorable President had sought a reference on 14 questions, in which it was it was clearly stated that the Supreme Court cannot intervene there in the matters of governor or president for that matter. So having received such a huge slap, now they have to find a shelter under some issue.
But what do you make of the criticism that there is inordinate amount of funds that go to Sanskrit, despite the fact that it may be an ancient language, it may be the language of our texts, of our mantras, of our chants and everything, but not many people speak day-to-day Sanskrit.
Can't we counter it with a simple argument that whenever something is seemingly endangered, whether it is a species or an animal or a language or anything which is part of an Indian ecosystem, it has to be revived. It's a simple logic. Let me give a very clear example. We all talk about Tirukural, which is one of the best treatises on social life. Okay. In that itself, there is one word from Sanskritam. That is, he talks about karma. Perumaikum yenai sirumaikum tam tam karmame kattalaikal. Here, the Valluvan, the most wisest of all in Tamil language, talks about Sanskritam, talks in Sanskritam. and Karunanidhi is nothing but Sanskritam. If I have to translate it, I have to call him as Anbu Chelvan, something like that. See, they just want to make an issue because they don't have any other issue to talk about it. The government is fumbling. The law and order situation in Tamil Nadu is the worst of all the states in the country. So they want to run for a cover under something or the other. They have some strategists, political strategists, who suggest them that you please raise this issue so that people will jump
so that
on
you
you
keep
slap on your
the
face.
binary of South versus North. You keep the binary of Tamil anti everything else, Tamil versus Hindi, Tamil versus North, all of this going. So, Raman, do you see shades of this here, given that the political climate and the landscape in Tamil Nadu is changing, which is why the likes of the Stalin family continue to harp on these issues versus the issues that they should be addressing ahead of elections?
There are two issues here, Shivani. One of them, of course, is the fact that for the DMK, a lot of this is core ideology-related stuff. So their entire, theory has been to create the sense of othering. So therefore, they need an enemy. Sort of, in some ways, like the BJP needs an enemy or somebody to sort of target. They also need an enemy. So the enemy is for them, has traditionally been the Brahmins, it's been the people who from other states, it's been the quote-unquote Hindi language,
Hindi,
a
Hindu,
whole
Brahmin,
lot.
yes.
Yeah. So their core ideology is around that. At least the parent organization, the DK, from which the DMK came, has this as its core ideology. Therefore, they keep going back to it whenever they want to divert attention, whenever the pressure is on them. So when they face anti-incumbency, they will go back to this. When they face a tough situation because of a court verdict, they will go back to this. This eradication of Sanatana Dharma and anti-Hindi, all of this is basically their modus operandi. And in this case also, there is no logical reason at all. Let's look at it very objectively. Individual state governments have budgets for their regional languages. Tamil Nadu government allots a budget. Sanskrit is, except for 3 states where it is technically an official language, but again, not in widespread usage. I think it's one of the official languages in Uttarakhand and a couple of other states. But let's leave that for the moment. The point really is that this government of India has to fund the Sanskrit universities. They've got to fund. So if you take 2,200 crore or whatever has been spent on Sanskrit, bulk of it would have gone into funding these universities.
Yes.
Now, the individual state governments then need to say that they are funding Tamil universities besides the central Tamil university, for which that 130, 120 crore or whatever is funded. These state governments fund. The Karnataka government funds universities in Kannada. The Andhra Pradesh government funds Telugu universities. So my point is, you cannot equate Sanskrit with the regional language for the simple reason is that Sanskrit is not getting any funding from the state. Therefore, the center has to do something.
No, and so even if let's say there were 1 or 2 states, as you mentioned, who may work for Sanskrit revival, the central government still has a responsibility towards Sanskrit as a language. You cannot begrudge that the central government has a responsibility to a language which is one of the most ancient languages anywhere in the world and born in India.
The DMK's problem is that it is part of the Hindu identity of India.
So I don't understand. How can you have that problem in modern day politics, Sumant?
No, they do. They do. See, before elections. So now they've all become Hindus and they will continue to be at least till May. Right? And they keep making this claim. Last time Mr. Stalin said 80% of the party is Hindus and so on. But those are to be used only during elections. So before the election, the party, becomes pro-Hindu. They become supportive of Hindu causes. And after the elections are over, they will again go back to their true colors.
No, but you mentioned an important point. State governments, particularly in India, because states are born out of linguistic identities, state governments are free to promote their own regional language. And can I mention? And they do. I'll mention Tamil Nadu government has allocated 133 crore for translating of Thirukkural, 70 crore for archaeological excavations, including 40 crore for gallery at Egmore Museum, 10 crore for translating masterpieces, 10 crore for Tamil heritage overseas, 2 crore for publishing technical textbooks, 2 crore for Tamil book fairs overseas, and 1 crore for Tamil World Tamil Olympiad. So Rahul Ishwar, I don't understand what's the problem. It's your job to promote Tamil, right? Because Tamil is the official language of the state. The center still has to do its job for Sanskrit. So do you see this as a problem which I think is infesting liberal, quote-unquote progressive secular politics, not just in India but globally, where on one hand they will say, oh, native culture needs to be preserved. On the other hand, in the name of secularism, fighting, patriarchy or whatnot, they will derive what is native to this land instead of saying, no, we must come together to preserve it.
Shivani ji, September 10, 1949, father of constitution, B.R. Ambedkar moved an amendment which says Sanskrit should be the official language of India. So, father of the constitution, Ambedkar ji, the greatest Dalit icon we have, the greatest constitutionalist we had, supported Sanskrit as the official language and support Sanskrit as the national language of India. See, Sanskrit is rightly holding the soul of Hindu culture and many of the Indian aspects. And let us not be shy about it. Second, there is not even a doubt, iota of doubt, that Tamil is older than Sanskrit. A person no less than Modi ji went on record to say, not twice or thrice, but more than 4 times, that Tamil is older than Sanskrit. And he explicitly said this to the next generation. And now let us be politically honest. What is the core debate about? Sanskrit is the language or language more closely associated with the Brahmin and forward caste communities. Tamil is the ancient Dravidian language, or which is older than Sanskrit. So there is always a political strand of debate between two. But Swami Vivekananda says it's brilliant. If Sanskrit is the father, Tamil is the mother of Indian civilization. We need both father and mother. I'm a person who belongs to South India and I belong to Malayalam. And Malayalam is a mix of both Tamil and Sanskrit, and that is the entire essence of India. So there is a caste, religion, community clash in between this, and that is friend-ended, piggybacked by this Sanskrit versus Tamil. What we need is, we should celebrate Sanskrit, we should celebrate Tamil in a great way, and none less than the Prime Minister Vivekananda categorically said this, our Modi ji said this, that Tamil is the oldest language. Tamil is older than Sanskrit.
What does it have to do with Tamil being the oldest language? I'm not understanding. This is then, language chauvinism again. Whether oldest or not is irrelevant to this debate. I'm sorry to say this.
Shivani ji, it is.
Because then you're making about a competition between two languages born out of India and equally important to India.
It needs to be collaboration and cooperation. The reason why Tamil people is telling this is that there is a sense of Tamil pride, and the entire Congress and the national parties lost out to Tamil Nadu because of the anti-Hindi agitation. See, there is a cultural context, but I am a person who says, or the majority of Indians says, both Sanskrit and Tamil should be celebrated, and there should not be a dichotomy. The issue with DMK is they politicize these issues in a big way. When the election comes...
No, so in this case, he's not saying, he's kind of garbing it under the whole issue of how much funds are given to Sanskrit. But in that, he has ended up maybe revealing his bias by calling Sanskrit a dead language. If
please remember,
millions
the
of
right
people, and not just one second, not just thousands, millions of people, millions of people. Sorry, Rahul, millions of people, not just in India, but across the world, and it could well be 1 billion if you count all Indians across the world, continue to chant mantras that are still today in Sanskrit. So, on what basis do you call it a dead language?
And not only that, Sanskrit is the mother of the ancient most Indo-European language, including the entire Indo-European, what is called PIE or Proto-Indo-European language. Sanskrit is the most Asian language. So we should celebrate that culture and treasure. We should understand the sentiments, and there should be a synergy. Unfortunately, DMK plays politics. And just let me last line. Modi ji's attitude is right. Modi ji says, it is my great sadness I cannot learn Tamil. And he quoted Tamil when he went to UN. So we need to synergize Sanskrit and Tamil and not make a fight over it like the DMK people are doing.
Okay. Pulla Rao, do you think, this is just passe politics? In 2025, young politicians like Udhayanidhi Stalin shouldn't be mired in politics of this kind. I understand this is DMK ideology and core ideology. But, if you continue to harp only on this, as we are seeing in the rest of the world and in India, the youngsters are going to leave you behind. This is young politicians of the DMK talking like this.
Oh, I don't think so. See, most of the politics is on culture. What is going on in USA, for example? Donald Trump, for example, didn't win because of his economic policy. Basically, culture. culture. So don't underestimate this. I'm not saying you should do this or you should do that. Udhayanidhi Stalin is smart enough to defend himself. And my friend Kalyan Ramanji, a successful politician, always has more IQ than most of us. Maybe less emotional intelligence, whatever it is. But, culture is very important. I would say that, I heard what Mr. Ishwar said. It was good. But if you have gone that step further and said that, raise Tamil, raise other South Indian languages also. That's not being done. And, when such a grievance is brought forward by a Dravidian party, it should be addressed.
What is the grievance? Sir, what is the grievance here?
His grievance is simple. You're not I didn't give a speech to him, but he says Tamil is not being promoted adequately. Sanskrit is being promoted, though it is not being in use as much. I don't want to use the word dead, because no language is dead.
But I think both our BJP representative and Sumant Raman talked about why that may be the case. Just a, absolute figure number disparity in the funding that comes from centre. I explained this at the start. It happens via 3 universities and a central body.
I heard that.
And Tamil Nadu government is celebrating Tamil or is advancing Tamil cause in its own.
Yes, so one thing is, I entirely agree with what Mr. Ishwar said. Prime Minister said, I wish I learned Tamil. Well, I would even go further. He should have learnt a little bit. He had 4 years' time since the last election. It should have gone well. Tamilians love their language. I may be a little, people, they love it more than most other people love their languages because that's their kind
so
of
is this about love of your language? As the BJP says, Mr. Raman, this is because when love for your own language, love for your own, in a diverse, multicultural, multilinguistic country like India becomes antagonistic to others, I think then it becomes a problem. Love for your own is not a problem.
This is not about DMK is never about love for anything. It is about hate for others. So the party's ideology itself is largely devolved on hate. A lot like, I keep saying, the BJP and the DMK are 2 sides of the same coin. They can be brothers in arms, actually. It's just that their targets are different. But
different
fundamentally, it's a party which believes in othering. Exactly. So they're 2 sides of the same coin.
Yes, and their whole Brahmin focused politics has also been criticized as extreme othering of a minority amongst the community. But I was also addressing Kalyan Raman here. I forgot I have 2 Ramans on the show today. But yes, Kalyan Raman.
Yeah, see, first of all, we have to understand the irony that 80% of the Karunanidhi family cannot read and write in Tamil. It's a matter of fact. Particularly Kalanidhi, Dayanidhi Maran family, now latest Inbanidhi and co. These people cannot even write and they can only speak, they cannot read and write. This is a matter of reality. 80% of the Karunanidhi family. The irony being that we promoting Tamil as DMK is something laughable. So it is not about the Tamil or promotion or promoting some other language like Sanskrit and all. For Sanskritam, there is no single physical entity or a geographical entity in the form of a state that is promoting. For Telugu, there is Andhra and Telangana. For Tamil, it is Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Malayalam, and so on and so forth. But not for Tamil, which is one of the oldest, Sanskrit, one of the oldest languages of the world. That is, we say that they are born brother, sister, or whatever, father, mother, whatever you call it as. End of the day, for promoting Sanskrit, which is the oldest language, we must have a mechanism for which there may be some funding happening, which is part of the game. So there is no question about it.
More funding, but the question is please ask for it. The problem is that you can also do it this way. You can say, listen, happy that you're spending so much on Sanskrit, but we
as a government, we are sitting on 4.5 lakh crores of funding in Tamil Nadu as part of our budget. A good amount of money is already spent on Tamil promotion by the state government, not by the central government. In the absence of any state government spending exclusively for Sanskrit, it becomes the duty of the central government.
No, I am saying, let's say you want more. There is no
great question about it.
Let's say you want more from the central government, you could always pitch for it. Why do you have to attack another language and call it a dead language?
Always ask for it.
Okay, Rahul Ishwar, final 30 seconds.
The problem
my larger point
is one final submission. I'm
my
a
larger
proud...
point, no, my larger point is that, you know, all of this is garbed under
Correct.
so-called liberal secular politics, but the world is moving on. And I don't think the young fall for this anymore because they can see very well what's happening everywhere else.
Young will love the culture, but they don't like culture wars. They will love their roots, but they won't like us fighting in the name of roots. See, I'm a Hindu right activist, and I would like to, also submit to Kalyan Ramanji. The position is crystal clear from Narendra Modi ji that Tamil is oldest, so there is no debate. So we need to synergize between Tamil and Sanskrit, and both needs to be celebrated. And Sanskrit is one of the greatest languages in the world. There is no doubt. So we should celebrate, and please remember, it is the core of Hindu Dharma, and we should celebrate. The majority of India is Hindu community,
And you
we
cannot
should celebrate
divorce the comments that Udhayanidhi Stalin has made about Sanskrit being a dead language to his previous comments about eradicating Sanatan Dharma. And that is where the entire ideology comes together. I do thank our guests for joining us.